I'll start with you, Max. Are we shortchanging Davis in our conversation about the MVP?
Not only about the MVP, but I would take a good look at LeBron James right now. You know, though Brady's going to fall off the cliff, and everyone got on me about that, right? And I didn't say it about LeBron because they don't seem to fall off the cliff in the NBA like the NFL. They seem to go into a kind of steady decline. But I'm telling you this right now, as great as LeBron is and as he's better than the rest of the league right now, Kawhi is hurt, the jury is out. Love KD. But when you look at Anthony Davis, both sides of the floor, KD's an excellent defender too. Anthony Davis is like an all-time great, versatile defender. It's unbelievable. And he has a more versatile offense than KD's. When you look at AD, I'm telling you right now, take a look at LeBron James over the next 25 or so regular season games, because I believe those will be the last games in the regular season where we still think about LeBron James as the best player in the world. I believe by the end of next season, meaning like start next season, that's going to be the year where Anthony Davis, not Kawhi, got to see with his injury, not KD, AD, Anthony Davis becomes the best player in the world starting next season. And already right now, I think the transition is underway. He's not only pushing James Harden for MVP, he's pushing LeBron for the crown right now.
Well, you know, I got to agree with Captain Obvious there. There's no question about it that this is what Anthony Davis is doing. He's definitely a candidate for league MVP. He's definitely in the discussion for best player in the world. And it's just he just brings a different dimension to the game. You know what? He's not going to play point forward like LeBron James is, but his shot is good. He can play with his back to the basket or facing the basket. He can rebound. He can defend. He blocks shots. He can literally defend any position on the front line, and some two guards in this league because he's that versatile. So he's that complete of a player. We didn't talk about him too much because the New Orleans Pelicans were not winning. But without DeMarcus Cousins, they clearly have been doing it. Alvin Gentry deserves he's doing a hell of a job. We were wondering about him a few months ago, but Alvin Gentry has stepped up his coaching and deserves to be recognized for the outstanding job that he's been doing for them during this 9-game winning streak. But when you look at Anthony Davis, to be 6'10", 6'11", to have the inside-outside game that he has, to take over the way that he has taken over, to average about 40. And by the way, when he's doing this, it's always about 10, 12, 15, 18 rebounds along the way with a couple of block shots. You definitely have to look at him and say, when we have a discussion about the best in the world, we need to stop limiting it to LeBron James and Kevin Durant. Anthony Davis has to be inserted into that stratosphere. By the way, even ahead of Kawhi Leonard, because as efficient as Kawhi Leonard is, if I'm going to get in, obviously there's no comparison, Max, so please don't take it this way. But if I'm going to sit up there and look at Alonzo Ball, for example, as a rookie, and point to his level of assertiveness, I need to look the same at Kawhi Leonard when he returns. Because there are moments, as great as Kawhi Leonard is, and as efficient as he is, the one thing that you could look at him from time to time is you wished that he was a bit more assertive and more aggressive offensively in terms of looking for his shot and looking for those points. It might be a product of playing the San Antonio system. It might be a product of what Greg Popovich wants him to do. But when I look at Anthony Davis, I see a willingness to take over. And that's what I'm saying elevates him above a Kawhi Leonard, because he does most of the things that Kawhi Leonard does defensively, but Kawhi doesn't do what he does offensively.
Max, on that note, let me ask you this, though. So when would Anthony Davis surpass LeBron as best player in the world? When do you see that happening?
Well, I mean, these things are hard to gauge as they're happening because you need a bigger body of evidence, right? So, like I'm saying, by the end of next year, it'll be obvious that, you know, he passed LeBron. So really what I'm saying is maybe the process has started already, and next year, right from the beginning of the year, I think you're going to notice that LeBron is no better than Anthony Davis. Davis has done things, and we got past him so quickly because of Embiid, because of Porzingis, because of Karl Anthony Towns. We're always looking for next. And as Stephen A. mentioned, when you're hidden on the Pelicans and they never really put a team around you, you're not playing meaningful games. So we're looking for what's next. But meantime, what's here right now is a guy who's fulfilled the potential we thought maybe he had a couple of years ago. And it's like, is this guy already a top 3 or 4 player? Then he got hurt a little bit. He's never quite played a full season. They get him Boogie Cousins. And some were lamenting, well, this is not coming together the way it should. I'm not sure about that. They started to play better and better together. By the way, not coincidentally, the one loss the Rockets have had when they've all been healthy is to AD and Boogie. That was the game that Boogie got hurt in the last 10 seconds. Who knows how good the Pelicans may have been by the end of this season with those two playing together. AD has had to be more assertive since Boogie went down. He's able to do that. He's able to, as I've mentioned, guard the pick and roll by himself, guard both guys. Like, he's done things that I've never seen before. And he's not always the sexy pick because he's not what's next. He's not a guy who's gonna like a wing, a two-way wing, who's gonna score 1 million points by giving you those highlight kind of plays necessarily. He's just probably, if he's not already, very soon going to be the best two-way player in the game. As I said, might deserve the MVP this year. Of course, Harden's just out of his mind, so maybe that's a tough call. And maybe he's already the best in the game, but I think by the end of next year, the body of work will be there to say it much more definitively.